Bonjour à toutes et à tous, je suis très heureux de vous retrouver pour un nouvel épisode de Retour vers le Futur. Nous sommes toujours en 1986 dans un futur alternatif où Doc et Edna ont pris le pouvoir pour mettre en place une espèce d'utopie sécuritaire, mais une utopie qui tourne à la dictature. Et on va essayer de remettre les choses dans l'ordre. Alors, je me rappelle plus si on avait regardé cette planche.
I don't want to go digging through the trash unless I absolutely have to.
Ça ressemble fortement à un passage, hein, donc je sais pas si on ira. On avait très longuement discuté avec Jennifer à la fin de l'épisode précédent, donc on va la laisser pour
Give me a
l'instant.
can of spray paint. I got an urge to paint something.
Happy little trees? Get yourself a watercolor kit. I'm not sharing my wall.
Ok, le graffiti ne nous permet pas de faire autre chose. Là, on a soy mud. Soy, ça ressemble à de l'espagnol je suis, et mud, c'est de la boue, il me semble. Donc, est-ce qu'on peut aller voir la porte?
That leads to the soup mo. Leech is in there. I'd rather he come out here.
Ok. Bah écoutez, on va continuer à explorer ce Hill Valley alternatif. On a bien parlé avec Jennifer. On a sûrement d'autres informations à trouver. Notre objectif, c'est de rencontrer Doc. Il faut absolument qu'on le voie pour essayer de remettre les choses dans l'ordre. Ah, c'est maman ça.
Mom?
Soupmo Unity. Ok. Ah, elle a quitté la voiture.
Martin!
Ah,
Oh, hey, Mom.
on va pouvoir en savoir plus. Alors, qu'est-ce que tu fais là?
So, what? Are you out here shopping or something?
Oh, shopping? Who shops anymore? No, it's that time of the month for me again. For my civic duty. I'll be polishing the statue all day.
Oh, right.
Ils ont un drôle de service civique.
What's with the golf cart, Mom?
Now, Martin, I know you're embarrassed to be driving around in last year's model, but we really can't afford the 86s yet.
What about my truck?
No one owns a truck in Hill Valley. Martin, are you sure you're feeling okay?
Yeah. I must have had a really vivid dream last night.
Well, I hope your dream world was more fun than this one. Could you do me a favor? I forgot to give your father my timesheet for last week, and now Mr. Nosy is convinced that I'm hiding something from him.
Timesheet?
Aren't they annoying? But Citizen Brown always says, a scheduled life is a happy life. Anywho, could you be a dear and drop it off at the house? Here, take the car.
Actually,
I know, dear. Love you too. I'd give you a kiss, but you know what that gets ya. Don't forget to pick me up this evening.
Il est interdit
yeah,
de
sure.
faire preuve de faire des câlins, des bisous, des preuves d'amour en public. Donc, pas de bisous. Bon, on va laisser Biff, Biff qui est toujours dans son programme de Citoyen Plus, là, qui a subi un lavage de cerveau.
Look around yourself, breathe in the fresh air, enjoy the immaculate scenery and architecture. You are standing among the denizens of the most sociologically
Rien que ça.
advanced city in the world. Hill Valley, a perfect place to live. Let's take a moment to look up at the city's centerpiece, the courthouse, with its ornate clock tower. Look closely. Do you see a silhouette behind the clock? That's our beloved first citizen, Emmett L. Brown.
Ah, donc c'est ça ce petit bonhomme alors.
To make Hill Valley the city of tomorrow, today.
Ok, bon, on a la signification. Là, il y a toujours ces petites boutiques sympas. On va les regarder d'un peu plus près. Alors, la banque de tous les citoyens. Là. Steamless Staycations. Je ne sais pas ce que ça veut dire. Là, c'est la salle de lecture avec de la propagande. Elles sont sympas ces affiches. Ah, E-Brown Industries.
E. Brown Industries. That's hopeful.
Et là, on a un new gigawatts available. Et là, il y a un jeu de mots entre gigawatt, qui est, je crois, une mauvaise traduction qui a été faite dans le film pour l'unité d'énergie qui est utilisée par la DeLorean, et watts, qui est le mot pour dire quoi. Je pense qu'il y a un jeu de mots là.
E. Brown Industries, established in 1945, is the technological enterprise that makes Hill Valley what it is today. Whether it is electric cars running off the city power grid or motion-sensing fence deployment, the radical civil innovations under development at E. Brown Industries are changing the ways cities operate. Efficient pedestrian travel, vigilant citizen monitoring, and space-age technologies that preserve the clean and modern appearance of the city. All these amazing advancements are not only making Hill Valley a wonder of the modern civilization, E. Brown Industries also exports its ideas and technology to cities around the world. One such city is Singapore, soon to be recognized as our international sister city.
Singapour, la petite sœur. Ils ont de l'ambition à Hill Valley, hein. Alors, le confort mixte. Le jeu de mots aussi. Ok. Le ministère du
Ministry
Tourisme.
of Tourism. I can't see why people would want a vacation here.
C'est peut-être pour partir plutôt, hein. Non, je pense pas que les gens d'ici aient le droit de partir. J'aime bien la caméra qui me suit. Hop, elle se retourne. Bon, allez, on va essayer de trouver comment rejoindre notre papa pour lui apporter notre feuille de présence de OraNN. Ah, mince, c'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Examiner.
It's a detailed list of my mom's daily activities. She brushed her teeth for 4 minutes this morning.
Ok, et pour l'instant, on a ramassé aussi une pile d'avertissements. Je ne sais pas trop encore en quoi ça va nous être utile, mais ça le sera sûrement.
Well, it's not the truck, but I guess it'll do.
Allez, boum boum, allons-y. Allons voir papa.
I don't know, John. Isn't this illegal?
What isn't illegal in Hill Valley?
Citizen Brown's watching.
Don't worry, nobody can see us here.
He's a peeping Tom. Ah! Dad.
Try to warn your old man the next time, okay?
Hey, I hear you got hit with some more demerits, Nathan. Good on you, I'd say.
Alors c'est marrant qu'il soit un voyeur parce que dans le premier film, il montait sur les arbres pour observer de jeunes filles se déshabillant. Donc on avait déjà constaté dans le premier film que dans son adolescence, George était un petit peu voyeur. Alors on va lui parler.
I saw Mom downtown. She told me to give this to you.
Thanks.
Say, what gives around here?
Ah, you know, the usual. Keeping tabs on Hill Valley through my trusty bank of monitors. Always on the lookout for some interesting footage.
Interesting. What do you mean interesting?
What kind of silly question is that? I've been gathering candid documentary footage for Citizen Brown's promotional videos for over a year now. I know your mother doesn't approve of my work, but wait a minute. You say you saw Lorraine? 11 to 12 hair salon, 12 to 12:20 lunch soup mo counter, cream of asparagus with crackers.
What was that?
You know your mother's problems. If she slips up again, it could mean demerits for the whole family. There she is, polishing the statue in the park. Just like the schedule dictates. Oh, then everything's fine. Good. Unless... How was she when you spoke to her? Lucid? Sober?
Ouais, c'est ses problèmes d'alcool. Je sais plus dans quel film elle était alcoolique, mais peut-être dans le tout premier, dans le premier, la première ligne de temps de Marty. Après, quand il revenait, elle était correcte.
Whoa, Dad, what are you telling me? Are you saying Mom's a drunk?
Shh, I don't know for sure that your mother has relapsed into her old ways, but she's been acting very odd lately, almost as if she didn't like my constant supervision. Confidentially, I suspect she's got a flask hidden somewhere, probably very near the spot where she's working right now. Do me a favor, son, will you? See if you can worm the truth out of her. She won't confide in me, but she may be less guarded with you. Double rations this week if you help your old man out. What do you say? That's a good boy.
Okay, Dad, we need to talk.
Hein, il nous demande quand même de d'espionner notre propre mère et de lui arracher ses secrets. Il y a aussi dans le deuxième film hein, où elle était ivre, mais ça c'était dans le futur alternatif où elle était mariée à Biff Tannen et vraiment ça se passait très très mal, donc elle buvait pas mal. Alors qu'est-ce que tu cachais quand
What
je
were
suis
you
arrivé?
hiding when I came in just now?
Hiding? I don't know what you're talking about, son.
Come on, I saw it. It was a videotape, right?
I might as well tell you. After all, you'll be 18 soon.
Tell me what?
Hill Valley under Citizen Brown is not quite the contented town you were led to believe it was.
No way.
This isn't a criticism of the great man himself, of course, or his sainted wife, Edna. No one's worked harder than they to apply the most advanced social planning techniques to our municipality. But,
What?
confidentially, not everybody appreciates it. A great many citizens, perhaps even the majority, actively resent the Brown administration. They don't say so publicly, of course. But in private, well, just listen.
Mais oui, mais ça on
Tell
s'en
you, Bert, this
serait
regime is a
douté.
joke. They're all laughing at us over in Fairfax.
A toast to Citizen Brown. May his beloved courthouse be struck by lightning. Agnes, you're awful. Are you coming to the town square, Lester? Citizen Brown's about to give another speech.
Citizen Brown can kiss my hairy.
Well, you get the idea.
It sounds like people can't stand what the Browns have done to Hill Valley.
Not everyone. Only around 50%,
Ouais,
maybe
quand
60%.
même.
Does Citizen Brown know?
He should. Whenever I send copies of my raw footage to the Public Relations Department over at the courthouse, I get a memo telling me how much Citizen Brown thanks me for my service. But how could he see those videos and not do anything about it?
Maybe you should take your tapes directly to Brown.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, he might appreciate my bringing these problems to his attention and reward me for my public service, but then again, they say it's never wise to be the bearer of bad news.
Eh ben nous on va l'apprendre, comme ça
Why
on
don't
aura
you give
peut-être un
me those
rendez-vous.
videotapes? I'll take them to Citizen Brown.
Thanks for offering, son, but I don't want to get you involved. Citizen Brown won't like what he sees on them, and I wouldn't want you to get the brunt of his displeasure, not to mention the displeasure of all the folks on the tapes. Once they find out I recorded them, no, I'm not letting these tapes out of my sight. It's too dangerous.
Ah là 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 là. Bon, à mon avis, il va falloir qu'on trouve un moyen de choper ces vidéos. Alors, on va
It's
en
about
savoir un
mom.
peu plus sur les personnages. Alors, Il y a plein de choses
How'd
à
she get to
demander.
be such a mess? This isn't how she is in my perfect world.
You're right, it's a real puzzle. Because of course we both know Hill Valley is a perfect world, but for some peculiar reason, the harder I try to get her to conform to the rules, the more she slips up.
She's thinking about signing up for the Citizen Plus program.
Is she now?
You're not gonna let her go through with it, are you?
Well, from what I hear, it's a fairly drastic procedure which completely reshapes the subject's personality. On the other hand, if Citizen Brown recommends it, it's gotta be a good thing.
Il est quand même un petit peu lobotomisé, lui, par Brown.
Don't you think Mom would be a little more relaxed if you gave her just a little bit of space?
Now, there's a fine suggestion. What would Hill Valley be like if people gave each other space? Why, we'd all be tempted to follow our own impulses, and there's no telling where that might lead.
Ok.
Something on your mind?
Alors, on continue, hein. Après tout, on est là pour en savoir un peu
So
plus.
about you and your work.
Shoot.
Alors, comment est-ce que tu...
You seem to be really
Comme ça.
into this spying business.
It's not spying, son. It's cinema verite. These candid moments of Hill Valley's residents will eventually be compiled and edited into the documentaries and promotional materials that advertise our way of life to the rest of the world. True, you can argue that I've taken things to extremes, but I still get up to take my meals and, of course, to use the facilities.
Ok.
You're supposed to be, I mean, wouldn't you rather spend your time writing, say, science fiction novels?
Science fiction. I did mess around with that once, but that was before Citizen Brown made it illegal.
Oh, d'accord.
Science fiction's illegal?
Sci-fi promotes an unhealthy obsession with the fantastic and impossible, and it encourages the idea that there might be better societies than Hill Valley, which is subversive nonsense, of course.
Okay, different subject.
Yeah?
Alors, à propos de moi.
It's about me.
I'm all ears.
Well, from certain things I've heard, I get the idea that people in this town regard Marty McFly as a
what?
a nerd.
They said that?
Non,
In so
meilleur
many
élève.
words.
Just because a boy studies hard and gets straight A's and respects the rules and doesn't party or drink or stay out late and is perhaps a bit socially inept and obsessed with personal hygiene and prefers his rubber band collection
Stop!
to...
I really don't want to hear anymore.
C'est pas vraiment le
proud of
Marty
you, son.
qu'il connaît en fait. Hein.
I'm trying to understand why Jennifer broke up with me in this time, recent past.
Are you still mooning over that girl? Forget her! She's bad news. Why, my surveillance cameras have caught her doing things that are completely against the Hill
Il l'a
Valley
vu en train
code.
de
I
taguer.
don't want to know.
Kissing boys.
Ah, mince.
Sitting with boys in cars. I've kept quiet about it for her father's sake, but believe me, you're well rid of her.
Il surveille vraiment tout. Hein.
You, is there anywhere you expect me to be, like, right now?
Well, I did expect you to be up at the lake until tomorrow with that math-magic competition, so I guess your time is pretty much your own right now.
Okay, different subject.
Yeah?
Dans les films, Marty devait aller au lac, mais c'était pas pour faire des mathématiques, hein, c'était pour y aller avec Jennifer. Alors,
It's about someone we both know.
Yes?
oh là là là, mais il y a vraiment énormément de dialogue.
Have you ever spent time with Citizen Brown?
Well, of course I'm in the audience for every one of his public addresses.
One-on-one, I mean.
Oh, no. He'd never notice a common Sector L citizen like me.
Secteur L.
But I dream that someday he'll recognize me for my public service and maybe let me shake his hand.
D'accord, c'est vraiment une star.
Have you seen Biff lately?
Not since he went to the reconditioning center. Is he back among the living?
Depends on what you mean by living. He's really different from the way I remember him.
Lucky dog. In a way, it isn't fair that Hill Valley's biggest scofflaw should be the first to receive the benefits of the new Citizens Plus program. But I know I shouldn't be jealous.
What can you tell me about Edna?
Mrs. Citizen Brown? Oh, she's a wonderful woman. People just think of her as this sweet, self-effacing grandmotherly type.
Edna? Are we talking about the
But
same?
really, she's just as involved in running the town as her husband is.
David and Linda.
Have you heard from them?
No, I thought maybe you had.
Not in ages. As far as I know, he's still working for the big city newspaper, and she's still in that women's boarding house. I'll never understand why they decided
Ah,
to
ils ont
leave Hill
quitté
Valley.
l'Italien, ouais.
Something on your mind?
Ah, on en voit le bout.
Hill Valley has a lot of rules.
It certainly does, for our own good.
Ah, pou pou pou.
Public kissing is illegal, right?
Ah, the old PDA law. Indeed it is. And what's more, violation carries a hefty load of demerits. But you know, it's a law people break with surprising regularity. Why, I could show you videotaped evidence.
How exactly do people get other people to break it?
On second thought, perhaps I shouldn't show you the videotaped evidence.
Ok.
If I got caught with a contraband item, I'd get in a lot of trouble, right?
You certainly would. You could be facing up to 1,000 demerits, depending on the item. But of course, you wouldn't be caught dead with anything illegal. It's your mother I'm worried about.
Ok.
Did you ever harbor a dangerous animal?
Haha! Couldn't if I wanted to. They've all been banned.
Eh
But I
oui, plus
did
aucun
catch
chien.
something very interesting on one of my monitors yesterday. Which one was it? Oh, yes! Does that look like a stray dog to
Ha-ha.
you? Whatever it is, Edna's Animal Patrol will make short
C'est
work of it.
Einstein. C'est Einstein.
Something on your mind?
What's the deal with the house, Dad?
Ouais, j'avais
Don't
remarqué en
know how
entrant.
to
Ouais.
tell you this, son, but while you were away at your math-magic competition, our house got slapped with a CZ36
Qu'est-ce
violation.
que c'est que ça?
What?
I know, it's so embarrassing. Your mother's mortified. She works so hard to keep a clean house, but those dust mites are so hard to keep down.
Wait a minute, we can't go into the house because of dust mites?
Well, not until they send in the cleanup crew.
This is
Okay.
ridiculous.
Thank goodness they let me move my office out here into the garage.
D'accord. Des mythes.
So, when's this dust mite problem gonna be solved so I can get to all my stuff?
Well, the cleanup crew said they'd probably get around to it by tonight, but they're kind of backed up, so I wouldn't expect them until tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? Where am I supposed to sleep?
I got it all covered, son. We're gonna camp out back just like we did when you were little.
Super.
Okay, this timeline is officially a nightmare.
Alors,
How
comment marchent
exactly does
ces
this
écrans?
setup work?
I'm glad to see you taking an interest. Each of these monitors is connected to multiple cameras, of which I've strategically jacked into throughout the valley, with official clearance, of course. I can switch between cameras with these buttons. There's also a VCR for each monitor. I keep a record of everything I see.
Ah, ça en fait des
if I happen
cassettes.
across something intriguing, I can keep it on file.
Ok.
Well, I'll leave you to your snooping.
Supervising, son, supervising.
I'll leave you to it.
Right.
Good morning, Mrs. Brown. Please address me as
Ok, alors on va
Citizen
pouvoir
Brown.
fouiller un petit peu.
I'm sorry,
Je sais pas ce que c'est que ce
Citizen
paquet, mais à
Brown.
mon avis, il y a peut-être une référence, quelque chose qui m'échappe. Ouais, des sandwichs, je sais pas. Ok, moniteur. Ça c'est citoyen Brown. Ça passe aussi en même temps en dessous. Ok, là c'est l'hôtel de ville, la porte d'accès.
Other day in Hill Valley.
Là c'est le petit... Ah, non j'ai cliqué... Je voulais cliquer... Pourquoi il y a le citoyen Brown qui apparaît sur tous? Sauf sur celui-là. Bizarre. Bizarre.
Hey, demerit. Hey, what for?
Ok.
Great polish shoe.
Là on a des
Good day,
disquettes.
citizen.
Greetings, programs. LeBrock 2.0. Anatomical constructs for sciences of all sorts. Boring.
Ok, là on a ma guitare.
Hey, what's my guitar doing out here?
Your mother and I convinced you to give it up, remember? Rock and roll music is frowned on by the Brown administration. It sets a poor example for all the kids who look
Ah,
up
la,
to
la,
you
la,
as a
la.
model of studiousness and moral gravity. And besides, you're not very good.
Allez, je
Come on,
la veux
Dad,
quand même.
I need that guitar.
Give me one good reason why I should give it back to you.
Because...
Oula. Je crois qu'aucune des propositions ne va lui plaire. On va être
a
honnête.
certain girl is only gonna like me if I can play the guitar.
A certain girl. You don't mean...
Jennifer.
Oh, Martin. Why are
Martin.
you fixated on that little hellion? She's nothing but trouble.
Yeah, my kind of trouble.
And besides, the way you play guitar, you're only gonna drive her further Go ahead, son. Do your worst.
Thanks,
Il a
Dad.
pas confiance, il pense que je vais me ridiculiser. Mais non, je sais jouer de la guitare.
Other
Ok,
day in
donc j'ai
Hill
bien
Valley.
fait d'être honnête. Bon là il y a encore du bazar, mais on ne peut pas fouiller.
Note of irony in your
Ok,
voice, was it,
je vérifie
citizen?
si j'ai
Irony.
tout. Ordinateur.
What's that, officer?
Nice. We didn't have a computer in the other timeline.
Ça fait vraiment vieil
No
ordinateur. Hein.
joystick. That's lame.
Mais pas de jeu. Là il y a des ordinateurs, disquettes. Georges, on va pas lui reparler. Il a déjà été assez bavard comme ça. Ouais, d'accord. Bon, allons voir ça de plus près pour les mythes là. Ah, il y a carrément une alarme. Hein.
This domicile is in violation of Civic Ordinance CZ36 and has been placed in protective quarantine until corrective measures can be taken. Please back away from the house and have a nice day.
What the hell?
Don't violate the
the hell?
perimeter, son.
Hey, I hear you got hit with some more demerit.
Ok.
Good on you, I say.
Dans la rue, on a un haut-parleur ici.
What's the problem, citizen?
Oops, wrong number.
Toutes les poubelles de recyclage à outrance. On peut marcher un petit peu dans la rue, reprendre la voiture électrique. C'est tout ce qu'on peut faire. Donc il faut que j'aille fouiller. Eh ben écoutez, on va retourner voir la maman. Et on va aller essayer de repérer s'il y a des choses illégales. Et en attendant, on a récupéré une guitare, donc on pourra peut-être aussi aller voir Jennifer avec cette guitare. Alors, elle est toujours en train d'astiquer. Statue, on va observer. Hein. Là, c'est comme ça que j'avais eu une amende. Ok.
Alright.
Donc je vais avoir à nouveau un avertissement, mais ça j'en avais déjà. Ça doit être utile hein, de faire ça, mais pour l'instant, je ne sais pas encore en quoi. On va parler à... On va lui parler. Hein.
Mom?
Alors, la flasque.
Mom,
Allons
are
droit
you
au but.
drinking again?
Don't be silly, dear. Booze is illegal, you know.
Yeah, Mom. It's just that Dad mentioned.
Your father. Why, I just can't get away from his prying eyes. Always
Eh
spying,
oui.
always watching. You mind your own business, George.
Now, Lorraine, this is for your own good. I know you're keeping a secret from me.
Oh là là
It's
là,
mine
c'est
to
horrible.
keep.
Dad! Mom! Knock it off, you two!
Now, you listen here, young man. This is an adult matter between your mother and me.
Dad, I know, but your way isn't working. You gotta give her some space here.
Huh? Where'd she go?
Mom?
Aha! I knew it.
Eh mince.
What is that in your hand? Rum? Gin? A wine
C'est
car?
triste ça quand
For
même.
your
Hein.
information, it's brass cleaner. I
Ouais.
have a job
Je
to do here,
suis
you
pas
know.
sûr. Je suis pas sûr.
Lorraine,
No,
Lorraine, I'm just trying to look out for you. You know the kind of trouble we can get into if you're drinking again.
George, I wouldn't be so on edge if you weren't suffocating me all the time.
Was that an admission?
An admission of how smothered I am by you.
Bon, j'ai pas, on peut pas fouiller son. Alors, po. Oh là là là, il y a encore plein de
I'm
dialogues.
having a bad day, Mom. Can I ask you a few things?
We all have our share, son.
D'accord. Ok.
Alright. Let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
Eh bah, il y a beaucoup de choses quand même. Hein.
So, what's up with Dad?
Indeed. What is up with him?
That setup in his garage is pretty intense.
That's not the word I'd use. More like creepy.
I heard that.
Il écoute vraiment, vraiment tout. Alors, est-ce que j'ai quelque chose dans mon inventaire que je pourrais lui montrer? Qu'est-ce qu'elle va dire à propos de la guitare?
Only I could tame this beast of rock.
Ok. Bah écoutez, je vous propose qu'on se laisse là. On aura beaucoup discuté aujourd'hui, hein, que ce soit... Enfin, c'est essentiellement d'ailleurs avec Georges. On a récupéré cette guitare, on en sait un peu plus sur notre maman qui pourrait éventuellement boire de l'alcool, chose hyper interdite dans cette ville parfaite. Et là, je me dirige vers Jennifer pour lui montrer ma guitare, mais ça sera dans le prochain épisode. Allez, je vous dis à très bientôt. Merci de m'avoir suivi. Salut, salut!